Hello everybody, this is Greg McKellar from Resin Alchemy coming back at you with my progress on the on Showboat Models 1/4 scale Daywalker. Just show you what I've done so far. First off, I'd just like to say that I really enjoy prepping a model. It allows me to get the overall landscape of what I'm going to be painting. It shows me perhaps I can get from it where I want to start painting, what areas I think are going to be somewhat of a conflict when it comes to getting the result I want, and then I can start thinking about how I'm going to approach that. So I do enjoy prepping a model. I think it gets me very in tune with the build and how I'm going to do it. That being said, even though I do like prepping, this particular unit kit, I have over 20 hours of prepping so far, and I think I have maybe a little bit more to do after looking at it just here talking to you. I know in my last video I said the primary issue was going to be this area up here where the upper torso, collar and so forth, and I really wasn't kidding. Once I got into it with a dental pick, I removed a fair amount of resin out of the collar. But you know, again, that's not a big deal for the average modeler. You just put a little putty in there and sand it to your liking, and you should be able to move on. I think though one issue with this that took so long was the coat area and the arms, primarily because the print lines that were prevalent throughout the entire unit, particularly up here where the vertical surfaces come up, there were just shelves of print lines. I've painted a lot of 3D printed kits before, but I have never run into printing like this. I'm not sure. I am a novice with 3D printing. I know nothing about it. All I know is that I've never had a kit with this kind of problem before, and they were prevalent all the way up it. So what happened was, once I went ahead and started shaping and sanding some mold lines and filling, the texture of this area was different than the texture for the rest of the coat. And so I fell down the rabbit hole and soon began my process of sanding the entire coat and arms. Interestingly enough, the inside of the coat didn't have the print lines in here. They were only on the outside. So honestly, between that and I went ahead and decided to go with the magnetic application of the various arms and weapons and so forth. I wasn't going to do it, but I decided in for a penny, in for a pound. So what I had to do is I used a technique where I just take cellophane and tape it tightly across this joint line, put some epoxy sculpt around this area on the arm side, press them both together squarely with a rubber band, let it dry, separate them, shape it, and then you get a fairly decent result. I'm not unpleased with it. I don't like seam lines at all. Normally I probably just go ahead and fill it all in and shape it and sand and paint it, but I think I can live with this. I think I like it. And so I did all the pieces, and look forward to getting to them. So overall, you know, I think it came out very nice. I think it's a great kit. The sculpt and the pose and everything, I think, are great. The concept is really great with the interchangeable arms. I just think that the overall execution of it could have been done a little better if they would have addressed those print lines before they made the molds. But you know, again, I'm not a mold maker, I'm not a caster, and I'm not a 3D producer, so my word is basically worth nothing. So anyway, it's looking good. I am going to, one thing I did is say with the magnets, I wasn't going to put the head on the magnet or the coat, these two separate here. I decided, well, what happens if something were to happen in here, scratched or whatever? You have a tough time getting into it. So by popping this off, you can do the whole inside of the cape or coat and do that. Same thing with the head. I figured if something were to happen to it, you can just pop it off, repaint it if you want to, pop it back on, and you don't have to get the rest of the kit involved at all. So yeah, I'll give you a little example here of how this works. So the magnets work pretty well. I just pop that one in there, approximate it like so, And I'll throw this little goober in here as a little throwing device. And as you can see, it's not bad, not bad. I think the seams look fairly good. I can live with those. And so anyway, that's it. 20 plus hours of prepping. And now I think I'm pretty satisfied enough with it to go ahead and start actually putting the paint on it. Looking at this as all black, I'm not going to paint it just all black. It would be pretty boring to do that. So I think this is going to be a different shade. The vest is going to, armor is going to be a little different shade. I think that the black itself is going to be done in hues of obviously black, dark gray, grays, maybe even in areas, maybe a little greenish black tone, very subtle in some areas, just to kind of make it visually interesting. So I think that's it. Next time you'll see it, hopefully have some paint on it. May be a while. I've got some other projects I need to get to first. But so that's it. My progress, prep progress on Showboat's Daywalker 1/4 scale kit. Take care.